If you have custody of your child, can you relocate with that child after your divorce? My name is Goldman. I'm the director and founder of Goldman and Associates. Our firm has a primary focus on family law issues here in Michigan, and today we're going to continue our video series designed to educate and inform the public. So please subscribe to our channel. The short answer is you can relocate, but there are conditions. There are parameters that have to be met. First of all, it's going to depend in large measure on how far you're relocating. If you want to pick up and you want to move, you're living in Oak Park, you want to move to Beverly Hills, you want to move to, Southfield, you want to move to Farmington, you have a few extra dollars, you want to make a nicer place. There's nobody's going to tell you not to. You're totally within 100 miles, you can certainly move, no problem. The question becomes, what if you want to relocate? You're in Michigan, you want to go to Florida, like so many people, they want to go to Florida. So if you want to go to Florida, can you do it? Well, then it's a more complicated issue. Number one, the question is, do you have full legal and full physical custody? If you have full legal and full physical custody, you still have to ask permission, but it's almost a pro forma thing that the court will let you make that choice. And why? Because with full legal custody, you get to decide major things about the child, like where the child lives, where the child goes to school, what doctors the child uses. So you make that decision that Florida is the better place. The other side's not going to have a whole lot to say about the relocation. They may have a lot to say about the parenting time and how that's going to work out, and the court may order you to pay the expense of all that, but that's a different issue. The question is, can you relocate? And it's a quicker yes. Now, what if, for example, you have custody, but you share the legal decision making? You share joint custody. Can you relocate then? Again, the answer is yes, you can, but there's a procedure. You're going to have to file a petition before the court to change the legal residence of the child. And I will tell you, that is not a form where you check boxes off that the friend of the court gives you. When we here at the firm file those petitions on behalf of people who want to move, those petitions are an inch thick, maybe more. Why? Because in order to convince the court that it's in the best interest of the minor child to make the move, which is what you have to do, you're going to have to show the court a cross-reference sort of analysis between where you are now and where you propose to go. How's the housing here versus the housing there? You're going to have to show the court where the child's going to live. Maybe you've got a better opportunity to have a nicer place there. The court's going to want to see it. You're going to have to do a cross-analysis between the school system here and the school system there, and you're going to have to show the court that that's a better system, that offers a better opportunity for the child. What about, for example, social life? The child has friends here. Will the child have an opportunity to have friends there? Is it a neighborhood that's family friendly, where a lot of kids from the school live in that neighborhood? So it's an opportunity of a social nature for the child. You're going to have to show that. What's the crime like in the new area? Is the crime rate lower than the area where the child lives now? These are the kinds of things that the court is going to want to know. What about family? Maybe there's a big infrastructure family in Detroit that you just don't have in Florida, or the other way around. Maybe there's not much family in Detroit. There's way more family in Florida. So you see, all of these things are going to have to be proven before the court. Before the court says, yes, I'm going to let you pick up the child and move to this area, the court's going to know that it's in the child's best interest. And these are amongst the things that the court is going to look at to determine, yes, this makes sense for the child. Now, again, I want to tell you that even if the court determines that it does make sense because of all these things, less crime, better housing, better school, better this, better that. Maybe the child has a medical condition, better service out there. Before the child, even if the court agrees, the court is going to make you work out something with respect to parenting time. Why? Because what ends up happening is now mom is seeing the child on alternating weekends and alternating holidays. And when you move, that ain't going to happen. Maybe dad is the one with the parenting time and he's seeing the child Wednesday nights for dinner and alternating weekends. Well, that's not going to happen if you're in Florida. We're not flying the child back on Wednesdays for dinner. So how's it going to work out? So this was going to require a modification of the existing parenting plan. So maybe instead of this on again, off again, very fluid plan that we have, maybe the child's spending more time in Florida, but dad here or the parent here is getting every holiday, Christmas and New Year's, all the summertime. Maybe that's what's going to happen. One parent will get more of the academic year, one will get all the fun time. That may be the compromise that has to exist. Beyond that, though, it's also going to be, there's a transportation expense. The court may say, look, you're moving. Right now, there's no transportation expense. I'm not going to force the staying parent to incur that expense. You're going to have to pick up the tab for that. Got to keep that in mind. If you're going to make the move, you have to keep in mind, is it cheaper to live there? Well, maybe it is, but those airplane tickets are going to cost you money, and you're going to have to pay for that. And maybe your child's old enough to fly alone, maybe not. So you're going to have to arrange for that as well. So there's a lot of things that go into the details of accomplishing this. But to the question of can you move? Yes, you can, but you got to be aware that like anything else in life, there are strings attached, and you're going to have to meet those requirements in order for the court to sign off on such a move. If you have any questions about your case, reach out, and we'll be glad to help you out.